being accused as a pirate when trying to sell 2 full crates worth of pipes was not something I had included into my plans. If you wish to sell for the Merchant Guild, you had to be a member of the guild. And to be a member, you had to have a reference from someone. I had to put my name out there, and had 2 things on my side. First was Sir Minus Greybeard and his potion parlor. He had a steady supply of ambrosia that kept my nausea and lightheadedness in control. Second was that Merchant Guild did not know that for the moment the road to Riverville would be tax-free after Dual Towers fell down. If I acted fast, I could revive this dead trade route and be a cheaper and faster option than others who moved goods in rowboats along the shoreline. It took a fair amount of persuasion to get anyone to trust their goods to nobody, but I managed to convince Belland, an owner of a small local brewery, that exporting his beer to Riverville would be a great opportunity, and it would only cost him a small fraction of his ownership. It didn't take long for the guild to know this single trader who beat their boat both ways and scratch-free. Soon more and more traders occupied the road between Riverville and Ark, but I didn't mind. I had enough time to make my name as a part owner and independent exporter of Belland's best. In the following weeks I got to know one of the guild's traders, Milbert Foxhand. He was in charge of supplying books across the west and didn't mind a company on the road. One day, when we reached Ark and were to restock and rest for a few days, he asked my help.
I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was ambushed by bandits. And both my father and my mother died during the attack. My sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the guards, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage.
Now, of course, she is still my sister, so all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that.
Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way.
I see. And why don't you talk to her?
Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you. But if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage.
Fair enough. I'll help you. Where can I find her?
Anywhere there's rats and dust. But she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity. One of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
When you just have to live with it.
Undercity wasn't a place where you would go willingly. If not by the fact that the settlement is built in the sewers, then by its people. They were the unfortunate souls that the city of Ark and its rulers had abandoned. But many of its inhabitants had digged their grave all the way down here by themselves. And the only people worse than them were the highwaymen outside, who were driven away from Undercity after stealing from their own.
Please, I'm so hungry.
Five must do our gracious lord. We'll get hammered in concord, and the nobles join our drinking, thirsty from their lofty drinking. Workers, landlords, all the same. This night there shall be no shame.
What?
Your brother sent me. He wants you to tell me where you hid the safe key for your father's heritage.
Oh, does he now? Good old Milbert and his silver tongue. Now he has found himself a lackey to do his dirty work for him.
Yeah, as if.
Let's make this short. I'll keep the key. No idea what he told you, but it wasn't the truth. Because if it were, you sure as fuck wouldn't be here.
And the truth would be what exactly?
I'm sure he told you about the raid on our village, didn't he? Well, there's one thing he didn't tell you. After those fuckers killed our parents and tried to break into our house, he left me behind. Took all the valuables he could carry, just ran away. If I hadn't managed to flee, he wouldn't have shed a fucking tear for me. But since fate was so kind to me, things turned out differently. I made it out alive and walked all the way to Ark, where I thought he was. So, you'd think he was glad to see me when I found him in these tunnels, wouldn't you? Well, you're wrong. He let me sleep in the room he paid for from our parents' money, but made me feel as if it was a privilege. And guess what? That hasn't changed until today. Yes, he pays for my room in the barracks, but that's about it.
I see your point. But if Milbert doesn't get access to that money, he will have to close down his shop. If so, you will have to sleep on the streets.
Yes, but... Huh. As much as I hate to say it, you might have a point there. But it's just... Oh, fuck it. Alright then. I hid the key in one of the barrels close to the entrance to the pit. But it's not like there's much money left anyway. Just... do whatever is necessary. I don't care.
Yeah? What do you want?
Hiding the key in the barrel didn't sound the best way to store one. But at least in the barrel it would stay safe. If no one peeked in. And couldn't be knocked onto the floorboards, like if it was outside of the barrel. Once you're done with Celia Foxhand, make sure that you talk to her one more time. Now Celia will clearly specify the location of the key, explaining that the key can be found in the barrels next to the pit in the Undercity Marketplace. In the barrels next to the marketplace in Undercity. The key will appear at the Undercity Marketplace. It won't appear in the game world if you don't talk to Celia. Mark it as an objective for retrieval. Thus it's simply enough to follow the quest marker. The key, however, is not inside the barrel, so do not search the barrels for the quest item. The key is placed very close to the barrels, as shown in the photos. So big thing, not in the barrels. There.
Bloody cutthroats.
Upon returning to Milbert's cart, I only found a small pool of blood and a vial. Asking around revealed that the dazed bookseller had been seen with a young lady carrying him outside of the gates. saying she would bring his brother home. Home. Foamville. I had to hurry.
No. Now you listen to me. I am sick of your fucking lies. Sick of you pretending to give a shit about me whenever it's convenient. Sending a cell sword after me. Really, Milbert? How low can you go? How low can you go?
But... By Malthus, you... Please, you have to help me. She's completely lost her mind. It's the dust. She's not herself.
But you know what? It's too late now. You won't save him. Or maybe you will. But only over my dead body. I have nothing to lose anymore. Not that I ever had much to begin with.
Why in blazes are you doing this? Is this about the money?
Fuck the money! I've told you how he treated me since those raiders came for us. Yes, he pays for my room, but do you think he ever came to me in all those years? Or asked me how I was? Fuck it! I'm a goddamn mess, and I know it. But it's his fault because he was never there for me. Not when our parents died. Not when the dust took me. Never! Before he sent you to get the key, he asked me himself. And that was the first time I'd seen him in years. But no. This wasn't about me. This was about his goddamn business and the money Father left for the two of us. He wanted it for himself. Just like he always has.
I'm sorry, Celia, but I can't let you do that. Put that weapon down, now.
Make me.
By Malthus. She's dead. Oh gods, how did this happen? The key, quick, get me out of here. Thank you. By the name of the sun, the drugs did this to her. This goddamn dust.
So, what now?
Good question. I suppose at first you get your reward. Without you, I wouldn't be alive now. Here, you can take this key. It's to another slot in the bank's treasury. You can take whatever's in there. I owe you this, at least. And while I feel ridiculous to bring that up now, I promised you another book, didn't I? Which one do you want?
Right. Give me the archery one.
Fine, here. Now, give me some time, will you? Celia, she was a shadow of herself, but she was still my sister. I want to say goodbye properly.
I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around.
Greetings.
A few days later, I
Farewell.
was summoned to the Merchant Guild. Milbert had referenced me, and the door to the guild had opened for me.
Yes?
So, am I now a member of the Golden Sickle?
Why, of course. Tomorrow you can move into the guild's house and Mal DeLorean will come to wash your feet. I like you, you know that? You're still so green and honest. That's a rare sight in this trade.
What can I do for you?
Well, aren't you eager? But it's your lucky day. There is something. But be warned, you'll have to earn your money this time. As you may already know, a good merchant doesn't depend only on himself, but also on his suppliers. The best skinners, nothing without fur. The best bakers, nothing without flour. And that is the problem. Helga Hafner is a farmer who's been producing grain for the sickle for 10 years now. Since 2 moons ago, however, his fields lie fallow.
And you want me to find a reason for this, right?
Right. But I need someone who can do it discreetly, which makes you the perfect fit for this task. Hafner doesn't know you, and he must not find out that we sent you.
What? Why?
Well, because we suspect that his fields will stay barren permanently, whatever's causing it. He denies it, but we have to know. And that is your job. Handle it properly, and it won't be to your disadvantage.
This is the room then. Okay. Oh. Have slow time maybe. Okay, there's one guy there, but oh, he's there. Ooh. It's better if I shut down the light. I'm not really sure. I need to wait my stamina. There's no idea I'm here. Oh, there's even more. There's even more. Okay. Let's not talk about that. Do you have any potions? Okay, I need to also drink ambrosia, I think. No, I don't need. I can still get one more potion, then I need to drink it. Where is it? Oh, there's two of them. This is... dumb. The bones crackling. Oh, he got one arrow on me. Too close to give up now. Need to drink ambrosia. Okay, what else I can take? Paralyze maybe. Maybe paralyze and poison. Ooh. I don't know why I'm stealthing. I'm so happy I bought the charge. So good against mages. It seemed so simple. A necromancer had made his home in the abandoned crypt, and his magic corrupted the surrounding lands. But on my way out I noticed a door that led underground. Long empty halls echoed doom, and after what feels like hours of walking alone, only thoughts accompanying me, silence was broken. Gushing water could be heard, and it could mean way out, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. An army of skeletons and fireballs hurled it against me, and the current was too powerful to climb back up to safety. I blindly swung till I lost grip, sending my mace out there in the sea of bones. There I was, helplessly kneeling in the corner, holding my shield with both of my hands. It would only take moments before my body would give up against the never-dying spirits of banging on the other side. Hey guys, it's me. Who's that guy? Hey, who's the guy murdering everybody? I'm stuck by the way here, just so you know. Then it stopped. My ears rang, but I could hear muffled sounds of bones crackling, bending, and the screams of souls finally breaking free. Necromancer's chaotic orders as he was losing control over the situation. I lowered my shield just enough to see over it, and witnessed a fight that only stalled in legends. One man fighting against the whole army, swinging with my mace and graciously dodging each attack. One by one, each of them met death by my savior. And when all's done, he saw me, sitting in the corner. No, you have to take the guy who's kneeling. Yes! Yes!
It's pointless. Even if you kill the mother shroom, the spores will stay in Hafner's soil. For the next 10 years, at least. Hopefully longer.
I don't even remember what he said. Who in blazes are you?
Menhir Harius. But that doesn't matter anymore. No one will remember me a few moons from now.
So I take you caused this. You planted the mushrooms here.
Aye. Well spotted. So, go ahead. Take me in, beat me up, whatever. Hope you feel good about it.
Isn't this usually the part where you told the speech, in which you try to convince me of your innocence?
Why would I? Let this fucking son of a Vatir starve to death. And his children, too. That's the good thing about the Golden Sickle, you know. As path-abiding and pious as they pretend to be, in the end they only care about the coin. I bet you've got it all figured out by now, haven't you? The evil Eterna ruined the pious farmer. What did he tell you, huh? Malphas punishes me for me sins? That stunt has always worked well for him, even back then.
Back then? So I'm guessing you know Hafner well.
Hafner. He pretends to be a stupid farmer, but he isn't. Not at all. Yes, I know him. We both grew up at the Farmer's Coast, and it's where we'll die. A little earlier than I thought, but still.
In other words, you're... what? Childhood friends? What did he do? Backstab you?
That's a nice word for it. I take it you know everything has gone to shit around here over the past 2 years, with all these brigands, the animals, and the living dead. Well, guess what? It's us farmers who feel it the most. And even worse, with every caravan that gets robbed, the craftsmen inside the city put less trust in us small men and prefer to buy from Borek with his well-armed, escorted caravans instead.
And what does that have to do with Hafner?
I'm getting there. You see, Borek undoubtedly saw the situation we were in, and in its infinite benevolence, offered us a deal. The 2 most productive farmers can transport their goods through his caravan for a small fee. Elegonus Brewstrong was one of them, and the other one was, or should have been, me.
I see. But Hafner wanted your place.
Aye. He did. And I would have never let him down, for fuck's sakes. I would have shared me place in the caravan with him like friends do. Aye, we would have made no fortune that way, but still. It would have been enough for us and our families to survive on. But no, 50-50 wasn't enough for that scum. So what does that son of a Vatir do? Poisons me cattle. That fucking bastard poisons me cattle.
Okay, so someone killed your cows. What makes you so sure it was Hafner?
That miserable pissbag didn't even bother to deny it. Sorry, Menhir, that's just how the world works. But of course, that's only what he said to me. To everyone else, he was so sorry for what had happened to me.
So your friend Hafner ruined you just to get your place on the Porex caravan. That's... drastic.
Drastic. Aye, that's one way to put it. For 6 months now, we haven't sold anything. But you know, that isn't even the worst part. The worst part is to go begging with me children and me woman knowing it, while Hafner lives on like just before.
And that's why you planted the mushrooms here and blighted Hafner's field. You wanted revenge.
It took me a long time to do this, and it has cost me. But still, it was worth it. Just to see that fucking smile wiped off his face.
So what now? What grand ending did you have planned to get out of this?
There's only one way to end this.
If what you said is true, that changes a lot. Hafner should face justice for what he's done.
You're full of surprises, I'll give you that. But just how are you planning on doing that? Hafner is so good at lying he could put a Chilean to shame. And I have no proof for what he's done to me cows. He, on the other hand...
Let's get out of here. I'll get Penny Pouch and a guard and explain what happened.
Good luck with that. But... alright, I'll come with you. If not for you, then for me children. Back there, there's a trap door. It will lead us outside. Go if you're ready. I'll follow.
That's a lie. Mynheer, what's gotten into you? I thought we were friends.
Lie or not, I don't see what that changes about the situation you're in. Hafner, you won't be able to deliver anytime soon. Our cooperation is over.
But... no, this is not fair. How can you say the sickle respects the righteous path and at the same time let me fall victim to this intrigue? What about me kids? Me wife? What am I supposed to tell them?
You fucking liar!
Put that away, now!
You're a disgrace.
What in Malthus's name has gotten into you, Mynheer? I just don't understand.
These farmers are your employees, Contour Master. What do you want me to do? Decide or I'll take in both of them.
What? But...
Shut up!
As I said, you won't be able to deliver anytime soon, Hafner. We'll have to look for another supplier. Urias, you said your cows are all dead?
Aye.
The sickle will provide you with a loan. 500 pennies. Go see Landlord Boric with the money. He will sell you new cattle.
What?
We will expect your first delivery 2 moons from now. You will sell it to us at half price for the next 3 years. After that, we will see. My dame, take Hafner into custody and see what there is to Urias' story. The sickle will cover your expenses for this.
Understood. And Urias? If he really did poison Hafner's field, he should face the tribunal for that.
Well, that's for you to decide. But we don't yet know what drove Urias to do it. Everybody knows what the spores can do to your sanity. Plus, if Hafner really did poison his cows, the tribunal might consider a mild sentence. For now, just take Hafner.
All right. Urias, you will hear from us. Hafner, come with me.
But you can't do this. I have a family.
Do I have to force you?
It won't end like this, Mynheer. I swear it.
Actually, it will.
Why have you done this?
Don't ask. And don't think this is over. You will face consequences for what you've done. But still, if your story turns out to be true, I'm sure the sentence will be mild. Now go back to your farm. You will hear from us about the loan.
Aye. Thank you, my sir. I will not forget what you've done.
One word. Why?
I owed him.
I applaud your heroism. But you were paid to find the cause of the barrenness and report back to me, not to play Lorem Waterblade. If you really plan on advancing in the sickle, you should leave your ideals elsewhere. This is business, nothing more. You'll get half your normal pay.
But it all ended well, didn't it?
You may think that, yes. But until the deal with Hurius bears fruit, it will cost us dearly. Plus, until he's able to deliver, we will have to buy from Landlord Boric again, and he charges twice as much as the small farmers do. We lost, full scale.
Look, even if this deal wasn't worth it economically, people will learn of Sickle's benevolence. That will make you a loss.
My benevolence? You know what? You might be right about that. Alright, you will get paid in full this time. But try to leave your goodwill elsewhere next time. There's no place for it in our trade, unfortunately.
Many here could have told the truth, lied, or just said that he didn't like Hafner's face and it would have changed nothing. I owned him more than my life, and the least I could do is to fight his side. That night the heroic story of Menher echoed time and time again, from the dancing nomad to the fat Leoran. And each time it ended with loud cheers and another round on the house. I got my well-deserved rest, but soon enough, work in the Merchant Guild continued.
Now if it isn't the hero of the Farmer's Coast. The Hurius story turned out to be true. Hafner really did poison his cows. The stable boy saw him do it, but was too afraid to report it. So, in case you really do care, Hurius will make it back into business, thanks to you. Anyway, concerning your question, yes, there is more to do. Uncomplicated work, good pay. You interested?
That's what I'm here for. What do you need me to do?
Well, it's simple. At the moment, there's a caravan on its way to Ark, carrying Duneville fruit and peaceweed. I need you to deliver a message to the caravan's leader, Rhodas. Then report back to me. That's it.
Fine then. Where do I find this caravan?
Well, that's up to you to find out. They should be on the Penny Road by now. Just a couple of days' ride from Ark. Just follow the road. You'll find them eventually. Good luck.
I had never ventured to the east before, but I knew someone who had. Milbert. Events in the Foamville had left its marks, and you could see him more often in the fat Leoran drinking than on the road. I thanked him for referencing me, and started talking about the adventure with men here. But he chuckled and thought that he too had heard it already. It was nice to see him smiling after all, even if it was for a brief moment. Milbert agreed to help me to plan the safest route to the caravan, but made sure that he wouldn't accompany me. My first suggestion was just to follow the road to the east, but Milbert shut it down by mentioning wood elementals, whose armor is too thick for one man to pierce. Moving along the mountain hill was my second plan. This way I could pass the wood elementals undetected. Wrong, said Milbert while taking a big swig of his pint. You forgot the soil elementals that patrol between the shore and the road. He explained that without the caravan, the best bet would be to swing along the shoreline around the elementals and come to shore at the smuggler's harbor. And kill them all? I asked. Bad idea, Milbert answered, laughing. I promised to hide on the mountainside, paid the drinks, and left the Penny Road as the sun set. Milbert's plan worked perfectly, but instead of caravan steadily closing Ark, I saw remnants of it from the mountain. Quickly scaling down, I made my way to one of the laying bodies briefly, before running back to the shadows.
Savakurim, Alex!
There were sounds in the distance. It was hard to see, but there were two figures on the road, dark veils blending them to the night sky. They didn't seem to pay attention to the caravan. Carefully, I made my way back to the bodies, just to confirm my fears. Dead. All of them. Penny Bausch had to hear about this.
Now, if it isn't the hero of the hour. Word of the stunt you pulled with those petrified got around. Mael Doloran himself wishes to see you. I strongly assume he's planning to hire you as a protector. Congratulations on that.
Where can I find him?
In the guild house, just on the other side of the street. Now hurry, he doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Why so snappy?
If that's what snappy sounds like to you, maybe you should consider a change of profession. I heard the bathing house is still looking for harlots.
Look, if you have a problem with me, just tell me.
Oh, there is no problem. At least not a problem that needs resolving. Let me put it this way. I'm impressed by how you, without a moment's hesitation, used the tragic events at the caravan site for your own advantage. But I guess that's just how this world works. Business is business.
How in blazes did I use anything that happened there to my own advantage?
Forget about it. You wouldn't understand even if I told you.
Good. Thank you for coming. I'm Mael Doloran, by my path Guildmaster of the Golden Sickle. What is your name?
The name is Leonidas. Well met.
Well met, I'll be frank. You're an outlander, and that makes you pathless. And I'm sure you know by now that the Golden Sickle is more than just a band of merchants. It's a citadel of traditional values in a time when they hardly exist anymore. Still, I believe that everyone has the right to prove themselves, pathless or not. And when you fought those assassins, you did just that. Even though you were too late. So, as promised, I'll make it short. I want to promote you to the rank of Protector.
The quarter must have suspected as much. He didn't seem very happy for me, to be honest.
That sounds just like him. You know, there were times when Mindalus was young and full of ideals. But his behavior these days continues to remind me that those times are long past. I suppose he thinks your promotion is unfair to the other recruits, but you're fit for the task. Even he should see that.
What exactly does that mean? To serve as a protector?
The same as working for the trading post, Only you will no longer have to waste your skills on running errands. You promise to honor the principles of the Golden Sickle, and to never act out against it or its members. In return, you will be granted a good pay and path-abiding honest work. Work that other Outlanders would give their left hand for, if I may say that.
I'm interested.
Good. Can you read and write?
Yes.
Excellent. This contract contains what we expect from you in written form. Read it, sign it, and then we can start. Excellent. Then we can start right away. Are you ready for your first assignment as a protector?
I am. What do you need me to do?
Before I tell you, I have to ask you something. Are you familiar with the Blue Islands Coalition?
Vaguely.
The Blue Islands Coalition is a league of powerful merchants from the belt of H.E.L.P. I take it you've heard about the civil war on H.E.L.P. It has been going on for 2 years now. Recently, the Council of Elders, which is made up of mostly wealthy merchants in H.E.L.P., succeeded in restoring rudimentary order. That is, if a dictatorship by those cutthroats can be called order.
I see. And how exactly that affect us?
It affects trade. Since the Civil War, the prices for spices, cane sugar, and Chilean cloth have exploded. And while some might profit from this, most merchants don't. But this situation should settle down now that the war is over, and it's not the topic of this discussion. I need you because some days ago an emissary of the Blue Islands Coalition arrived in Ark.
So what's my role in this?
I want you to meet this emissary and give him this letter. It's a written invitation to come to the guild's house for dinner.
Understood. Where can I find this emissary?
Well, finding that out will be part of your job. But I suppose he's somewhere in that city where there are colorful clothes and shining jewels. Chileans are drawn to that kind of flashiness like children to sweets. Now go. Come back to me once you've delivered the message.
Now, a good pipe of peace, Wayne. Blazes, why is that stuff so expensive?
A soldier of fortune. How charming. Anyway, good luck with whatever you do next. Ah, and if you're in the mood for it, apparently there's a Chilean minstrel group in this city, and they perform in the tavern just next to the bathing house. I'll stay there for the time being, and I wouldn't mind a good chat.
Messenger's career felt alluring when breadcrumbs led me to the bathhouse. I had a lovely talk with H.E.L.P. and got the answer that she would attend the dinner.
Yes?
Work.
Yes?
I delivered your message to the emissary H.E.L.P. She has accepted your invitation.
She? Oh, wonderful. That changes a lot.
What now?
Now you'll get your pay. Go talk to Penny Pouches. I will contact you if your services are needed once again, which will most likely be very soon.
Sooner than I thought. I barely got any shut-eye before Messenger knocked my door. I informed that I should hastily make my way to the guild house.
As I said, without samples, I just can't say, my sir. I am sorry.
I understand. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
There you are. Thank you for coming so quickly.
You seem upset.
I don't think that's the right word for it. Rhodus Trevian. I still remember when he was first hired in the trading post, similar to the way you were. Do you remember him?
Should I?
He led the caravan that was ambushed by those assassins. Rhodus was an urchin child from the Undercity, but unlike the others, he chose to fight his way out of his misery. Eventually, he made it into the Sickle. He was a disciplined, honest young man. Yet despite all his ambition, he never sought to surpass his path.
Sounds like he was important to you.
He was a good person, always striving, yet with deep respect for tradition. There aren't many young people like that these days. I still remember when I granted him the Sickles badge, 4 winters ago. He was so proud. I know it was you that brought it back to the trading post. I think it would have meant a lot to him, knowing that it isn't rotting somewhere in the desert sands.
I'm sorry for your loss, but why did you call me?
Suffice it to say, there has been a disquieting development. Yes? We've found traces of poison in some of the corpses. Traces of Chilean poison.
So you think the Blue Island Coalition has something to do with this ambush? That woman... the H.E.L.P.
You say that so lightly. I think it's about time you learn the whole truth about this cooperation between us and the Chileans. The reason the Blue Island Coalition is here is a bargain. Have you ever heard of the Green Scarabaeus, the idol of Morala?
I think so. It's a relic, isn't it? A talisman. Apparently crafted by the Lightborn Morala herself.
The goddess of H.E.L.P, yes. The Scarabaeus is made of a very rare gem that makes it one of the most valuable jewels in the civilized world. Well, as you might have figured, it was originally a Chilean who possessed it. Ralius Davul, to be precise, the founder of the Blue Island Coalition himself, and at that time, one of the richest men on Vin.
But now the Kilneans are here. So, does that mean that the Golden Sickle owns this idol now?
Yes. I will spare you the details of how that came to be, but be assured that it was the result of hard and path-abiding work, something that is foreign to those dark-skinned cutthroats. However, the Blue Island Coalition contacted us about 6 moons ago, shortly after the Chilean Civil War was over. They want to buy the idol from us.
And you agreed? That is what the H.E.L.P is here for?
It is. To be honest, if circumstances were different, I would have never agreed. The fact that the Chileans, in all their greed, were forced to sell the symbol of their own goddess is almost an allegory for the way of living. But I suppose you also know that our country, Enderal, has seen better times. And of course, all those unfortunate developments in the past years have affected the Sickle too. And before you ask, it is not as if we have to fear for our existence. But there are certain expenses we simply have to cover. In other words, we need the money.
And am I right to assume that this caravan carried the Scarabaeus?
You are. It was foolish. But we thought a regular caravan would be less likely to draw attention. It was a mistake. I'm responsible for many good men and women that are now dead, including Rhodus. But be that as it may, we owe it to them to find the one who did this. And if the Blue Island Coalition really is behind it, then...
If the Gilneans are behind this, do you really think they would simply steal the idol and use Gilnean poison? That would be way too obvious.
You're right, but we have to be sure.
So what are you planning on doing? The Apothecarius said something about samples.
Correct. We have to reconstruct the poison, and that's why I need you. It's called Dural Van, and it's made of 3 substances: Netherland thistles, dust maggot stingers, and dawnflower extract. According to the Apothecarius, the thistles can be found in Golden Forest, and the stingers anywhere in the Powder Desert. Dawnflowers don't grow in Enderal, so you might have to try your luck with one of the traveling merchants in Duneville. Here, this should cover your expenses. And you have my word. If you help the Sickle in this matter, your reward will be generous.
Golden First, Outer Desert, Duneville. This was some tall order. I told to Mael that it would take a long time before I could manage to gather all the ingredients. To no one's surprise, he wasn't happy about it. But knowing that volunteers for the new Easter caravan would be far and few apart, he couldn't do but agree with my terms. As long as the Gilneans wouldn't hear about our plans, I could take my time. First time in a long time I felt like things were going my way. As a guild member, no. As a guild protector, I finally got to offload my pipes to the guild, have Pelent's best in every caravan, and got myself a home in Ark.